We went from raising all our calves indoors on mob feeders to assigning certain cows the task of raising the calves. One of the biggest benefits to this whole system is it lets cows do cow things. It lets calves, in this instance, the calves are doing calf things. They're protected, they're socialized, they're well fed, obviously. Matt Byler. I am the third generation on this farm. It was a conventional farm up until about mid-90s when we started to graze. And we've gone from mixing it in a little bit to kind of fully embracing. And there was starting to be some writing about it, the rotational grazing idea, where, you know, the idea is you manage the grass like you would a hayfield, basically, where you give it time to grow. When the grass is at its best, you're going in with the cows, taking it off, and then giving them rest. And, you know, with that, we find that varying those rest periods is worth a lot. And the longer you let it rest, the more plant species show up. One of the biggest reasons that we graze is because, one, it works. And I think that, you know, I'd put this system up against any system. There's guys that do a great job with the heavy equipment farming, but we're not spreading fertilizer all the time. We're not spraying stuff out and planting new stuff and whatever. We're letting that whole system work. And what you find is it's the rule of compounding, really. Once you get good things going, more good things happen, and starts becoming an exponential return where, you know, 2 + 2 = 5 instead of 4. I don't like tillage. I don't want to be out there beating my soil into submission to try and get corn to grow and stuff. So I would say that organic is more available to me just because of my mindset and how I look at things. I feel like I'm putting out a superior product. I mean, I'll just be honest. I think this is better than some of the ways it's done. And it's nice to think, okay, it's gonna benefit me financially, benefit my family financially. Making really good food available to more people is really, really important. And I would encourage anyone who likes that idea to pursue it. So what we try to do for the most part is we're trying to manage the grass with the cows. I mean, you go big picture, what we're trying to do is turn sunlight into money. We're harvesting sunlight with the grass, harvesting the grass with the cows, and they're able to turn all that into milk and in some cases meat, but for the most part, in our case, it's milk. In a conventional setting, one tends to look at a farm and judge it based on how neat everything is, nice straight rows, and I'm as guilty of that as anybody. When I did it, if I'm mowing hay, I want it to be straight. I want everything to look real nice. Problem is that you miss out on a lot of stuff with that. So we see a lot of birds other people don't see. A few summers ago, there was a western meadowlark here all summer, and there were people coming from all over the place because you don't get those here. So, and that may have just been a coincidence. It may not have been, but I'll take a little credit. We're tied very closely to weather. It matters if it rains. It matters if it rains too much. It matters if we don't get enough. One of the big things that I appreciate is the fact that when we work on keeping our ground covered and keep living roots in the soil, that water cycle is working so much better here, and to the point where I can watch 5 inches of rain come and stay here, and watching it run off other places and making a problem in a more conventional setting. And that's probably one of the biggest benefits of what we've done here. There are many options available for self-educating, whether that's through conferences or reading materials or videos, visits. Probably the best resource is find somebody around you that's doing it. One of the resources, the Dairy Grazing Apprenticeship, one of the roles that it fills is just connecting people who, I mean, an older farmer that needs some help with things and a young farmer that needs some financial help. I think that idea of bridging that gap with that apprenticeship program is really useful. I think one of the best things to do is embrace the natural cycles and, you know, the idea of the grass and the cow, and they work together. Soil feeds the grass, grass feeds the cows, cows feed the grass, grass feeds the soil. That's a really neat cycle to watch. And when it gets going and it's going well, that's a powerful thing.